I'm live on the gram. I am live on YouTube. What up, what up, what up? Peace to the gods. How y'all doing tonight? I know a lot of people was like, God dang, I'm Memorial Day or whatever goddamn day it is. Y'all kill me with these holidays, yo. I don't really celebrate no holidays, man. I keep it moving. But it's all good. This Friday I'm gonna be in New Jersey for the flyer information and buy the tickets. Check out the flyer and call the flyer. It really was a private seminar, but it was converted to a regular seminar. You know, my expenses kind of high. You know what I mean? But it's all good. We are going to go back to tricks and traps in court, right? So we left off on, because I definitely want y'all to know what they're going to be doing in court so y'all can avoid it. So we left off on page, hold on. Let me see what page it is. One, two, three. The third page. So let me put this in the chat so that y'all can follow. Here it is. The same that will ask the question. And let me do it for YouTube. All right, so there it is in the chat. Let's go on it. Okay. So, how the court prevents you from omitting evidence. And y'all definitely got to do this because a preponderance of evidence is how you win court cases, right? So, if you don't know how they're going to block you from putting your evidence in, you can't win none of your cases, right? So it says, and what to do about it. If the adverse attorney objects to a witness, document, or other evidence, the court sustains the objection. The pro se will have no evidence, and the pro se will lose if he doesn't know how to preserve the evidence for appeal. Remember, as stated above, the judge has a broad discretion to admit or disallow evidence, and the judge and the adverse lawyer are members of the same exclusive monopoly, and they don't want non members participating in it. If they can, the rats will vigorously punish any non member for trespassing into their exclusive domain. A party should preserve excluded evidence in the offer of proof. Before a party is entitled to make an offer of proof, it must offer the evidence at trial. When an objection is lodged, the party offering the evidence should specify the purpose for which the evidence is offered and the reason it is admissible. Before parties are entitled to make an offer of proof, the court must make a ruling that the evidence is inadmissible. Once the court rules that the evidence is inadmissible, the party must make an offer of proof. The offer must show the substance of the evidence that was offered and excluded. Citations omitted. Then it says, to preserve oral testimony by a witness, the party offering it must make an offer of proof in presence of the judge, the court reporter, and the opposing counsel, but outside the presence of the jury. The offer of proof is conducted out of the hearing of the jury to prevent the jury from hearing inadmissible evidence. When making an offer of proof, the lawyer or pro se must make a concise statement of what testimony would be elicited from the witness. The trial court must add or comment to offer to show the character of the evidence in the form of which it's offered in objections of the ruling. Now, I ain't gonna front. Y'all shouldn't have let it go this far. Why? Because if you go to jonahbay.com and you pick up my motion for discovery, my writ of discovery, you're never going to let it go past discovery. Because if they can't give you your discovery, you can't defend yourself. If you can't defend yourself, it should never go to trial. Now, what I've seen over the years, it's been almost 20 years. You put in my discovery, when they go say, oh, we're going to take it to trial, they end up never going to trial. The day of trial, just before trial, they'll dismiss it. Now, the thing, how you know they're playing that game with you anyway is, don't you know to have a trial, they are supposed to have you pick who the jury's going to be. You can't pick the jury and have the trial the same day. That's almost impossible. But yet they'll say that dumb shit to you. All right, trial is set for next week, Monday. Right? You can't have the trial Monday. Y'all haven't decided the jury selection. You see what I'm saying? But what they do, they are actors. They're going to play like they're doing everything legit, like everything is popping. But it's not. It's not. This is why y'all got to listen to these shows, study, and know the tricks and traps that they're going to use. But let me go back to the reading. To preserve documentary evidence, the party should, at the time the document is rejected, say, I make an offer of proof of this document and ask that it be filed with the record. Y'all have not been doing that. Y'all are supposed to do that all the time. You give them your evidence and say, I want it filed on the record and for the record, right? Y'all have the actual paperwork into the clerk, but you got to tell them to move it into the record as evidence. All right? Let me go on. An offer of proof to preserve an excluded document may be make it presence of the jury. That shit ain't written right. An offer of proof to preserve an excluded document may make it in the presence of the jury because the jury is not prejudiced by the evidence in the excluded document that it cannot see. The court reporter should mark the document as an offer of proof and identify it with the exhibit number. The document will be filed with the court of clerk so that it will be included in the exhibits in the reporter's record. Even when a document is already on file, the court, for an example, depositions and interrogatories, if the court refuses to permit it to be introduced into the evidence, the party should submit it as an offer of proof and get the court to rule on the offer. This surely includes those affidavits that many Patriot pro se staple onto the motions and other pleadings in the mistaken belief that by just a virtue of being filed into the record, such as affidavits, are evidence. It should be remembered that affidavits, like all other evidence, must be testified under oath by a competent witness in order to become admissible as evidence, unless, of course, the adverse attorney runs their mouth about one of the affidavits and there's no objection. See, that's what I was saying to y'all. The paperwork is off the chain, but they have you go in, swear, and do testimony, and that be on the record. But your affidavits that you put in was not on the record because you haven't asked for it to be put on the record. And this is also why I say when you're in court, Only read your paperwork. So it doesn't matter what you're going to say out your mouth because it's only going to say exactly what your affidavit is saying, what your paperwork is saying. Stick to your paperwork. Don't say nothing else beyond your paperwork. That's why you put it in. So your paperwork is your affidavit, and your testimony is going to be your paperwork and your affidavit. I'm telling y'all the tricks of it, but y'all be up in court just running your mouth, answering questions and shit like that. They ain't got nothing to do with your paperwork. That's a no-no. Don't do that. I don't give a fuck if you literally sit there with your paperwork in your hand and read your paperwork off in the court. That's what you do. Stick to the script. Don't deviate at all. At all. That's the easiest way for newbies to be in court and win. You know what I mean? That's what you need to do. So tricks and traps is telling you the same thing I'm telling you. But let me go on. To preserve tape recorded evidence ruled inadmissible by the trial court, the party should, at the time the tape is rejected, say, I make an offer of proof of this tape and ask that it be filed with the record. As part of the offer, the party must describe the excluded evidence on the tape and specify the purpose of the evidence. So now this is telling you if you're in one of those recordings where it's over the phone or video, this is how you're going to say, I make an offer of proof of this tape. And I want my evidence to be filed on the record. And my evidence is dealing with y'all took an oath to the Constitution. Y'all are trustees of the Constitution because the Constitution is a trust indenture for you guys, the trustees, and I'm a beneficiary. And that's why it's important. And you have been breaking the Constitution, and anything that goes against the Constitution is void. Right? That's the proof. The proof that you want to preserve on the record or on the tape. And the error is preserved. And you guaranteed to win when it goes to Court of Appeal, the upper court, because they deal with the Constitution. All right, let me go on. Error is preserved by the court's explicit ruling that the evidence in the offer of the proof is not admissible during trial. However, under Trap 33, error can also be preserved if the trial court implicitly overrules the offer or refuses to rule on the offer and the complaining party objects to the refusal. See, and that's when I be telling y'all, you be like, yo, I object. And he says something else. He didn't sustain or overrule. And you're supposed to say, yo, you need to sustain or overrule. And then they don't say nothing. And then you're supposed to say, I take exception to you not ruling. I take exception to you not ruling on my objection. It's simple, B. It's real simple. And they can't do nothing about it. And they know you setting them up for the actual appeal when you're doing that. So most of the time they just let you win because they don't want that shit remanded back to them. They get in trouble when court cases are remanded back to them. But let me finish this up. Another way to preserve excluded evidence is the bill of exceptions. See, I told you I take exception. This is an antiquated procedures preserved in Texas law that is so strict and difficult as to be impracticable but possible. In some cases where the evidence was not timely preserved, the bill of exceptions may be the only remedy. It will not be discussed here, but the reader should be aware of the existence of the remedy. The federal rules have no equivalent procedure. When excluded evidence is properly preserved, the judge can may reverse himself. If the evidence is relevant and substantive, the probability of the reversal by the court is relatively high because the judge knows he will be reversed on appeal. I just told y'all that. When y'all preserving this shit, he just let y'all win because he don't want to lose on appeal. The judges don't like their decisions reversed on appeal. In fact, judges don't like their decisions appealed, even if they are upheld. Whoever has the preponderance of evidence in a civil case will win. How can you win if you have been prevented from getting your evidence into the record? How can you win if Joe Shyster gets his hearsay testimony into the record without the risk of cross-examination? Evidence is everything. If the record does not contain your evidence, you have nothing and you will lose. On the other hand, if the pro se can keep the adverse attorney's bullshit hearsay out of the record, and he just might deprive the adversary evidence and win. See? That's what you got to do. This is the things I'm teaching you. Now, I want y'all to actually study the document. It's only 4 pages. Know it by heart. Know it by heart on the things that they're going to be doing in court in the whole night, and it'll be nothing for you to beat them. All right? Anyway, we're past the half an hour part. Let me play my commercial, and then we're going to come back from break and take some questions.
Peace to God. Are you dealing with a legal situation? Are you being stopped and questioned by police for no reason? Got you feeling like the deck is stacked against you? You can get everything you need to protect yourself, your rights, and your property at JONAHBay.com. JONAHBay.com. You can learn how to remove that so-called judge from your case with the writ of Penendus and Decisis webinar and template. Get that so-called judge out of here. You can learn how to save your money so you can make money with the Discharge Webinar DVD right here at JONAHBay.com. While you're there, you definitely need to pick up the injunction webinar and template. Don't believe me? Check this out. Peace to the gods. You're now listening to the sounds of Hindsight Radio.
I want to share a story regarding the injunction. I did the injunction, and I was stopped by the police. I didn't realize it. So he said ticket, and so he went to his car and ran my plate, and I literally mean he almost ran back to my car with my license and said, "Have a nice day," and sent me on my way.
What happened to the ticket, though? Where's my damn
no ticket. He sent me on. He told me to have a nice day and sent me on my way. So the injunction does work.
Go visit JONAHBay.com. At JONAHBay.com, you can choose from a wide selection of webinars, seminars, templates, certified documents to get your remedy. He can teach you how to go ahead and get out of debt. And not only get out of debt, but to be self-sufficient where you don't need to go ahead and utilize the system. You are the system. JONAHBay.com.
All right. We back from break. Someone said, do you have to have a foreign trustee in order to set up the trust prior to opening up the bank account? You do not want the foreign trustee when you go to open up the bank account because they're going to want the foreign trustee to come in and open up the bank account. You want your domestic trustee to open up that bank account for you. Now, also, here's the thing. Your 98 number will not work to open up a bank account. They will not open up a bank account with that foreign number. That foreign number is specifically there for holding purposes, to hold property. That makes it exempt. The bank knows that that number is exempt, so they will not do business with it. All right? So you need to study more. You might want to get a consultation and talk to me or get on this show and talk to me so you can get things squared away before you go to open up that bank account. Now, Royal Bay said he paid for a consultation today. Hopefully, reach me before I make my first appearance on the 2nd. First of all, bro, when's the 2nd? Ain't that like 3 days from now? Hold on, let me see what the date look like. 1, 2. That's 4 days from now, bro. You were supposed to get your consultation before 4 days. First of all, let's say I probably will get you before then. How are you going to have time to do paperwork? How are you going to have time to study and prepare yourself for court to win? How are you going to do that if I get you in a day before court? You're supposed to have the paperwork in before that. Y'all need to stop waiting to the last minute. You don't know what my schedule is or anything. You should not wait to the last minute to get y'all's consultation just before you got to go into court. You've been knowing you had to go to court. You should have got this consultation and prepared for it. Bro, Black people got to stop procrastinating. Moors got to stop procrastinating. Whatever you call yourself with this skin tone, you got to stop procrastinating. That is a habit of us that's really bad. Oh, I feel you, dog. I feel you. He said he just got the money. I feel you. I'm going to try to get to you as soon as possible, bro. I understand that. Right. But let me get to the calls. I'm going to 720-975. Peace to the God. Peace.
Peace to the God. Peace to the God, man.
What up, God? How are you?
Let me first go ahead and comment. I'm doing good, man. Enjoying this pleasant day, you know. Have to give a shout out to the drip. So today you look, I don't know if it's Memorial Day or Easter outside. You look quite drippy.
Now I'm going to the little, I'm going to smoke my cigar right after, you know what I mean? You know, this little cigar etiquette drip, you know what I mean? But I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
You know, it's all love. Inspiration all day, OG. But I was gonna say too, you know what you taught us in one of those interviews you did this year with the God. You said the cat told you that if you're early, you're on time.
Yep.
If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, you're fired. I put that shit in my
That
files,
was Carl Miller, who was my mentor when I was like 18. He was a billionaire. And he mentored me. He worked he was the boss of a Fortune 500 company called Cargill Imports. Cargill brings all your grains and all that into America and transport it all around America. Cargill, yeah.
I held on to that jewel. That's a good one to keep on file. Man.
Yo, this is what I tell my kids, and mostly all my kids are well on their way to being, you know, what they call it, high value men. They making over 100,000. Of course, I'm way beyond that, but you know.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, I got some questions for you.
Yes.
I'm gonna start with my trust question that I had because I'm not ready to pull the trigger and go file mine.
Right.
My state's a little tricky, and you already gave us the game to kind of keep our eyes on how they do things because one slip, you fumble the play. So my question was with the filing office with the 9-501. My state reads just like the Cornell law, exactly verbatim, except for on section 2 it put the Secretary of State as the office. So it still confused me. And sometimes they slippery with the wording, so always running by
What state are you talking about?
I'm in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
But So mine's is verbatim, like you know how you say they uniform, right? Mine reads verbatim like theirs, except for
when you say theirs, when you're talking about trust law, I read Georgia's trust law.
Exactly.
Okay. You didn't say Georgia, you said federal.
Well, the reason why I say that is on the webinar, on the third webinar, you were showing us the filing office. You pulled up Cornell law. You didn't do the Georgia for that.
Oh, okay. I've been so long ago. Again, I gave y'all another example. Most of what I did with the trust was really from Georgia. I did it exactly how the Georgia code told me to do it, because Georgia told way more info, right? But I had to give them an example, and I gave them the Fed. Now that you're reminding me, I remember, but I didn't remember it until you just said it.
Yeah, it's been a minute, Sean, that I've been slipping.
Right. That's like what, 2-3 years old?
Georgia, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I fell off the boat. But so my question is when you take in I know you got to do the trust registration form with your property list minutes.
Yes.
And then so my question is, and I'm gonna have to get a consultation. You could just let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to also bring the non-UCC/UCC there, or do I follow with my state personally, or do I need to get this consultation with you to kind of?
Now that's a great question. Now, what I did was I filed my trust, and then I came back and filed the non-UCC. I didn't do it all at the same time.
Okay. That's why I was thinking, because they do want you to do it online. I just didn't know if it was a trap, though.
Yeah, online got mad traps. I find it so much easier to go in person.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know exactly how you're filling out the paperwork until it's done, and you still don't know what the paperwork look like while you filing online. I don't like filing online.
Yeah, you feel me? Yeah, so that was okay. So I'll probably just grab the console on that one. And one last one for you real quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and land the private jet because I'm about to get the webinar this Friday of the tax exemption.
Right.
But my question is, if you're filling out the regular I-9 for the plantation, you got to get back on the plantation. Could you can tell me if I sound dumb, but could you, if you did the original passport process, could you put that you were a resident alien and then put you're a more Aboriginal Georgian, for example, and then put
you're going to confuse them. See, how you going to say you're foreign, you're foreign, and then say you're from one of the states? It's going to confuse the peons.
Don't even try.
Right. Remember, public and private don't mix, man. That's one of my main rules.
Yeah, because what I did, OG, is I just went ahead and put I was a citizen. I knew I was in the play anyway. I was like, well, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to even run no tricks, but I figured I'd run that bike just to thought on it,
No problem.
But that's all I had, OG. But keep up the good work.
All right, then. Peace, God.
Yeah, G.
All right, I'm going to 763-501. Peace to the God. Peace.
Peace. How you doing, Jonah? Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's kind of low. Any way to get higher?
Is that any better?
A little. What up?
Hello. I was just wondering what you could tell us about something that someone I knew that he passed and stuff, but he had like I can't remember the name of the ministries or whatever they are, where you could just like pay a couple dollars, or I don't even think you got to pay. You could just sign up, and then you could pay later, and the date that your like minister or pastor license or whatever that is begin will be the date you signed up, not the later date when you pay for the them to send you the credentials in a physical form. And then with that,
I don't know nothing about that.
Huh?
I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. That right there.
Because what it was about it was he used to be able to just basically go show up at a prison or anything like that, as far as I understand. And,
I ain't never did that.
Well, I knew him I knew him over the years. He did it a number of times where somebody was locked up and he wanted to go, see them or whatever. He could just show up.
Who you talking about, Brother Muhammad?
Nah, I'm talking about this European complected dude who passed like about a year or two ago.
No, I don't know nothing about that process.
And they used to have to just let him in as the religious.
Yeah. I understand what you're talking about, but yeah, I don't know nothing about how to make yourself official like that to be an official minister.
I think he did that in a couple states. Well, it's called New something. You can just look it up. I can look it up right now. It's like there might be a couple of them, but one of them is probably the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pay, sign up. And then
I ain't gonna front my nigga.
$40.
I'm not going to no one's jail to help no one.
I mean, shit, it wouldn't depend who it was. Like, if your own son got locked up or something, you might want to go see him, right?
Well, you make a point on that. That's a great point. But I can go see him without going to jail. You see what I'm saying? I know all my son's information. I know how to get him. Let's say, for instance, if his bail is off the chain. I already know the Constitution says you can't have exorbitant bail, right? I put that in and then ask some quo warranto with it, and then he would get a bullshit bail and I would bail him out. You know what I mean? I ain't worried about shit like that with my own kid. And then I'm not even gonna front. I'm the type of parent. It depends on what the fuck he did. If I'm gonna get involved anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm not one of them parents that'll just go running to go get my kid if he was totally in the wrong. So if he was totally in the wrong, he went against my teachings anyway.
Yeah, true that. The other question I have is what all need to be done before the IDP can be pursued? You gotta I got the
all you gotta do is send me an email to jonahbay@gmail.com, put IDP, and I'll send you the application, and then I'll forward it to my guy that hooks you up with the foreign driver's license, and he'll contact you.
Ain't there a couple things I got to do? Like, don't I got to retitle the car into a trust and do the name and do my name change?
All right. See, here's the thing, right? Your IDP. I have something called the Car Trust webinar. You want to get that, right? Now, you're not going to put it into your 9(8) trust. You could, but you're not. The reason why I don't really want you to put it in your 9(8) trust, why? Because your 9(8) trust is the same name as your Moorish name, right? Your IDP is going to be in your Moorish name. You see? So they might see that as, well, shit, he got a car registered here. He must be a citizen. So get the Car Trust webinar, and you will get the do a separate car trust.
Do I need to do a name change before I can do the car trust?
No.
All right. So once I do the car trust, do I need to do the name change before I can do the IDP?
Nope.
All right.
Better if you did. Better if you did, but nope.
Okay. Is any what do I got to do besides the car trust before I can apply for the IDP?
You can do the ID, apply for it whenever you want. Ain't nothing stopping you but money. The money you got to pay them to get the IDP.
But I need to do the car trust before I apply for the IDP. Is that right?
You can do it after or before. That's why I'm not answering it the way you want to hear it. It doesn't matter.
Right. Well, if I were to apply for the IDP and then not do the car trust for like a longer amount of time, I'll be putting myself in a position of liability or what?
Okay. Let's say you got your IDP, right? The problem is if that car is in your straw man's name, you are mixing public with private. How? Because the car is registered under the straw man. When they pull up the registration of the car, the picture of the straw man comes up, right? Then you turn around and give them a private IDP with your Moorish name. You see the problem? Conflict of interest in public and private.
So, I mean, basically, I got to either put the car into a trust or I got to title the car in someone else's name.
Yes.
Right.
You got it.
Do they need to be from out of state if I do it in someone else's name?
It could be anyone. It could be anyone. It don't matter. It could be out of state, in state. It don't matter.
All right.
Remember, the whole key is to own nothing, control everything. You cannot have stuff in your straw man's name. If it's in the straw man's name, then the government owns it. That's the whole thing. You see?
Right. Now, when they do the trust, like, for example, the insurance company says
you're going to have your trustee is going to be a public trustee that gets you insurance.
And is it going to be them that's going to be named as the driver? Because, they be wanting the driver to be named.
The trustee is the person who does everything in lieu of you.
And they're named as a driver, not me.
On the policy, but no, it's being that it's going in a trust, they can let anyone that's drive that car that's a beneficiary. That's private. You know what I mean? The insurance company don't have to see who the beneficiaries are. So see, in law, the trustee actually is the owner of the car.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
under trust law, the trustee has to give the property to the actual beneficiary to use. See?
Well, I don't never tell the insurance company, I'm gonna have this other driver.
Right. You never did. You never did. No one does that. You just get that what is it called? Uninsured joint covers that type of stuff.
Well, how about getting like a bond? I know this dude who
I don't know how to do those bonds yet. They work great. Don't know how to do it.
Uh-huh. This dude I know that has one, he said all he had to put, I mean, I'm not gonna say all of, but he tied up 10 G's, so you got 10 G's, put it in some kind of account, and that's what his bond is attached to.
Yeah, but who did he go to? And I could do that. Who do we go to and all that? I want to know that all that information. So if you can get it from him, it'd be appreciated.
All right, I gotta wait till I see him. He should be around though. So
all right.
Yeah, I'll do that. All right, bet. Well, that's all I got for now. Appreciate it.
All right, peace, God. All right, I'm going to 651-422. 442. Peace to the God. I gotta take a quick leak. I'll be right back. Ask your question. I'll be able to hear you. I guess I lied because I didn't hear jack that you said. Hello? Oh, that caller dropped. That's why I didn't hear nothing. Okay, let me get the next caller. 408-761. Peace to the God. Peace.
Peace to the guys, brother teaching the way. I have a question for you regarding. Let's say that I'm traveling and the passenger can they use also the 241, 242 lawsuit? 1983.
Anyone can do a 241, 242 lawsuit.
Okay, so even if they're actually traveling with me, right? We get pulled over, they can do it, right?
Anyone can do it because it's false arrest for them to do it to anyone.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get another consultation with you.
All right.
Also, for this one is for the for the CPN. Because I was trying to get it, and I was looking to the videos that you have from the 9.8, I guess the beginning. And do you have to? Do I must use the SSN to get the CPN?
A CPN is a credit profile number. If you get any EIN, that's a CPN. And today, if you want to get a EIN that you can use online and do online business, you're gonna have to use that SSN to get that number.
Okay, got it.
All right.
Okay, the only number that you don't use the SSN is the 98, right?
Right.
Just the holding
right.
company, but you can use it
See,
for
you can get.
else.
You used to be able to get other EINs with the 98 number. They don't let you do that no more.
Okay, got it.
All right, then. Peace.
All right, peace.
All right, a brother asked the question. He said, Brother Jonah, question, how do I change the name of the trustee on my 9.8 trust? I had the legal name changed in court with my mortgage title name now. See, I'm confused because I taught the 9.8 that, boom, when I got my 9.8 number, my name wasn't legally by the court Jonah Bay, but I still put the responsible party down as Jonah Bay, and the name was Jonah John Bay Express Trust. So you did it wrong. Now, first of all, secondly, it doesn't matter because when you go to jonahbay.com and you go get the trust webinar number 2, I show you how to actually create the trust. You don't have a trust yet until you do the trust paperwork down at the county. When you do the paperwork down at the county, you could name who you want to name as the trustee. But you don't go back to the IRS and get them to change it on the IRS paperwork. First of all, they don't keep no information on a 9.8 number. The IRS manual says that. A lot of y'all went and found out how to get a 9.8 number, but y'all didn't get that information from me. Y'all didn't learn how to get it from me, and y'all didn't learn what the IRS manuals say. So I think you need to go into the archives and read the manual and know what it can and can't do. But anyway, thanks for tuning in tonight. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. I know I did. I'll see y'all again Wednesday. I'm up out of here. Peace to the gods.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right, YouTube, I'm up out of here. Peace to the God.